how's it going? Alex DeAnda here. Today we will be covering how to deload. In this video we will cover the purpose of a deload, when to deload, how to deload. We'll cover training, nutrition, cardio, and we'll do some key takeaways at the end. So, without further ado, purpose of a deload is to dump fatigue accumulated from a long period of training progressively harder week to week. So, for example, if you have a 12-week period of bulking and you're training harder and harder and harder week after week after week, you're going to accumulate lots of fatigue. And to a certain point, you will not be able to train any harder. You will plateau. And that's how you know it's time for a deload. Once you start plateauing, you lose a little bit of motivation to go to the gym. You're just tired. General fatigue, when it gets to be too much fatigue, that's when it's time to deload. So, like I said, after 12 to 18 weeks of training progressively harder and harder and harder, for most people is usually a good time to deload. It's best to do after a bulk, because when you're bulking, you're progressively training harder week to week, like I said. But it just got darker in here. I personally prefer to deload after a cut, because I'll bulk for 12 weeks, train harder and harder and harder, cut for 6. By the end of that, I'm pretty dead. But I would have accumulated more diet fatigue also. So personally, I like to deload after a cut, but probably best to do after a bulk. So there are two options. There's actually many options, but in my opinion, the two best options for deloading is taking an active rest week or taking a week to reduce your volume, or a traditional deload. So, first method is active rest, which is basically where you just don't lift any weights, you don't go to the gym, you just take a week off from the gym, get rid of all your fatigue, recover well, do a little bit of active cardio. Cardio is active, in case you didn't know. Stay active, do some fun cardio, just go on walks, play basketball, play pickleball, whatever. But don't go to the gym. Like I said, the other method is to reduce your volume. I have found through anecdotal research that reducing all of my sets to 4 to 6 RIR is the best volume reduction for me personally. But everybody's different, and this will vary from person to person. Reduce your weight to where you're working in the same rep range, but you're only going to 4 to 6 RIR. So if your rep range for an exercise is 8 to 12, lower the weight to where you can do 8, but you can still do 4 more. I would personally recommend no more than 12 sets per muscle during this deload week. It's probably best to do a little bit less, maybe somewhere closer to 8 to 10. But you're not going hard, so 12 is probably good, but no more than 12. And just generally take it easy in the gym. Nutrition for a deload, you should be eating at maintenance calories in order to reduce your diet fatigue. If you are coming off a bulk, then going to eat at maintenance is going to reduce your diet fatigue. And if you are coming off of a cut, going to maintenance is also going to reduce your diet fatigue. Keep your protein high like normal, that's a given. Gram of protein per pound of body weight for most people. 50 to 75 grams of fat. Just eat normal. Eat mostly healthy foods. If you want to have a little something unhealthy here and there, it's not that big of a deal. The whole point of a deload is to reduce fatigue, and that includes diet fatigue. So if you have trouble, if you are very fatigued from eating lots and lots of healthy lean meats, white rice, all this and that, healthy food, then you may benefit from having a little bit more unhealthy foods, but still eating at your maintenance calories. So, key takeaways, 12 to 18 weeks of hard training. After that is a good time to deload. or whenever you begin to feel too fatigued and plateau. Like I said, it works different for everyone. Some people may get too fatigued after 8 weeks. Some people can go 24 weeks without getting too fatigued. But 12 to 18 weeks is generally a pretty good time to deload for most people. Choose either active rest or reduce your volume to 4 to 6 RIR for each set and no more than 12 sets per muscle during the week. That's up to personal preference. And for your nutrition, make sure you're eating at maintenance calories, mostly healthy foods. Unless you really struggle with diet fatigue, then you can throw in some a little extra unhealthy stuff. But keep it at maintenance, gram protein per pound of body weight, and focus on resting and recovering throughout your deload week, because that is the whole point of a deload. Don't go into the gym and do your 4 to 6 RR and then go out and do 3 hours on the bike. Recover, relax, rest, and prepare yourself for the next mesocycle of your training. So that is all. Now you know how to properly deload in order to get the best results. Like the video, comment any comments you may have, any questions you may have, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. I'm no scientist. Take all of my information and advice that I give with a grain of salt. Everybody's different. What works for me may not work for you. What works for you may not work for me. So keep that in mind with all of my videos. And yeah, consider subscribing if you found this information helpful. And yeah, thank you for watching.